Well, things almost got real interesting, but not quite. Blue pushed on into the market. Actually, everybody pushed on, but Blue pushed on into the market, and what did they pick up? They picked up the CA3 OS. Gives them extra energy. That's kind of cool for a pilot. Just one extra energy, but it was cheap. They could get that along with claiming a mine. Great. Then we came to Purple, and Purple thought really hard about going all XX on everybody's ass and buying themselves the Mark III Tug, or Mark III Scout. It would require 2 loans. It would then crash all the Mark 1s. The problem is, this guy, who's going to get hurt the worst with 2 Mark 1 ships, is not his competition. It would have hit everyone else, but the person he's most worried about is Red. Red's ahead of him. Red didn't look like he had a great run with his Mark 1. Crashing it probably wouldn't do as much damage to Red as it would to Purple. So Purple went onward, grabbed himself the extra ice mine, and flagged another one, I hope. He's supposed to. Never know what I'm doing. Would make sense, though, because he's 1 behind Green, and Green was the only person to flag early on. Over here, Red went and collected, and he didn't get much here. He got some cinnamon sticks with a bonus on them. See that with 5 energy, that he's just able to get that out there. And then Green pulled into the market as well, and he bought himself, interestingly enough, this ore scanner that allows for cheap exploration, only 1, and it gives you a chance to draw and then redraw. How big a deal is that? Not terribly big, but basically the thing is, the other thing he was considering, in addition to claiming a mine, and he claimed a cinnamon stick, was this berry factory, or berry plant. No, or deuterium plant. He's not going to deliver a lot of deuterium. These are worth 1 each. Additional. He's only going to deliver 2. He wants to set himself up so he's producing them. Nobody else seems interested in those things. This guy has 1 claimed. It's possible somebody will pick it up, but he seems to be the only person really focusing on those. So he's hoping he'll see it again next time he comes around. Hoping. Got to fill this up. And yeah, I had to come back and keep playing. Just out of nothing else to do. Okay, things are still kind of interesting. M1 Scout here managed to pick up with an extra bonus just for payout using his movement. He actually stole that, I think? He couldn't have. I thought he stole it. No, he just, I guess, launched one of his own. Okay, anyway. By grabbing that, he got his biggest payout. I think he stole it. In which case he was cheating because he doesn't have the energy. Over here, Purple launched up some ice. He got a big bonus that he just fell into. This was drawn in replacement of the 1 Blue grabbed, and that gives him some additional money there on his Mark II. Now that could cause some problems. We'll see in a moment. Red pushed in, made his money. Again, 35. Chances are he's buying the next, the Mark III ship. He's got cash on hand for it. He can buy that, still convert a claim or whatever. Now, alternatively, he could try to run for the win, but I don't think it's possible at this point. I think that other people are going to start making more money than he is. That 35, by enough that 35 won't carry him over in addition to whatever excess time they have after he makes it to the dock. He's kind of out of kilter with them anyway. It might work if he makes it to the dock right before everyone else does, but it doesn't look like it's quite going to be that way. And especially if he's got 2 ships, he'll be going a little faster. It's hard to tell because he'll make money a little quicker. He'll be making the runs a little faster than everyone else. But, yeah, I think he needs the other ship. And it's one of the things you got to balance in this that requires experience. No biggie there. But that I don't have. to be able to judge, hey, can I make this time? Nah, I don't think so. Okay, on to the green player. He picked up his load, filled the ship up with stuff he had himself. This was just a matter of filling up his Mark I tug, because Red's gonna buy the Mark III and is going to obsolete those Mark I's. That means he wants to get a load on board on it and deliver as quick, so that he can deliver from that ship, especially since it's carrying some equipment on it that improves its ability to bring money. So he didn't really worry about trying to optimize through these. If he had time, he would have done some like exploration type work, including driving perhaps driving these away, or trying to set up to get the deuterium one that he really wants. But he wants to make sure he scores all 3 ships. That ship has 3 holds, so it's pretty valuable to him. All right. And let's see, Blue picked up for their second run, leaving an empty cargo hold on this tug and grabbing a bonus thing. Purple also filled their M1, picked up the best they could for that, they think. Red here indeed obsoleted all the M1s. No real harm to them, except they're not going to get to run this sucker. Which means that the equipment they have on board is kind of in limbo until they make it to the dock again, whereas everyone else is going to get to move their equipment early. That makes things a little weird. It's a hard decision there. Or how much of an advantage is it? Well, they're losing some fueling capability. They don't lose this. I don't think the pilot is out of effect. It's just they can't run the ship out in the belt. So, the fuel tank isn't going to help there. And then for Green used this thing to an excellent advantage. They picked up a deuterium, but then filled out the rest from the bag, looking for specific things so that they could fit this extra $5 for one. They've already got their M1 filled, so there's no problem there. They got one more scout to fill up by the end, and they've got their own claimed thing here, and another one if they don't want to reach for something else, maybe from someone's hand or something. Blue fills out their ship. They're not at all unhappy. They got a run with triple cinnamon sticks bonus. Over here, they had a bit of trouble. They were running this one, I believe. They ended up not being able to even fill it completely. They were drawing, I think now, they drew one, but they were unable to find anything here. They flushed this several times to try to help themselves. They couldn't pick anything up because this claw is too expensive to use. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they could have drawn from the bag, I think. But they chose not to for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe because I can't count well. Over here at Red, they pushed on. They picked up this ore scanner. Now, I think that thing is tremendously powerful, especially when you have a big hull, because he can just keep spending one and doing searches and grabbing, as far as I can tell. There doesn't seem to, maybe I'm mistaken there. Maybe the belt only allows you to explore once. No, doesn't seem to be any limitation on that. And this gives you the explore module, which is about the same price, with a slight advantage, which is I can pull an item and I can discard it if I don't like it, essentially. I can call for a particular item, and if I don't get that, I get another draw. Okay, great. Now, maybe they mean something else here. Maybe they mean you get 2 draws added, and if you don't get it, you don't get anything or something. But, there's no place in the rules where this is spelled out if that's the case. Hey, maybe on here? No. I was just hoping maybe there's some player aid or some secret place where it would be covered outside the rules, just because sometimes games like to hide stuff where you wouldn't find them in the rules. Uh, and then green, so that was an outstanding purchase as far as I'm concerned, and there's no way I'm going to let that go. And of course, claiming a mine as well. And then green over here filled out the rest of their dance card on this thing. They got a lucky draw on their exploration. Really the same setup that that purple had. I wanted them to be red so badly, but I counted right there, I guess. All right. Now we're at Blue's obsolete ships. They just pulled 43 bucks in by hitting the dock, but they've got a problem. 2 of their ships are going away. Now one of these is no big deal, but this one is. Do I want this Hal Mobius who produces $6 for empty cargo holds? It feels to me like I'm probably going to only have one more ship in the near future. That'll give me 7, maybe 8 cargo holds. I've got 5 of these. Am I likely to have an empty one? Is there something here? Because I'm the next person heading up here. I can sweep for free. Yeah, that's not terribly interesting. I can pick up from an opponent's space cheaply. I could get this deuterium thing. None of those sound terribly interesting. There may be something better for me in the future, but I'll tell you what. I'm going to spend the $2 out of my pocket, and I'm going to put him over in my collection, and he'll stay. He'll be available for the next ship that I buy. I may want to replace him with some other pilot, but neither of these looks good for me, and $2 is pennies, really. All right, on to the purple who is not red. Now purple just pulled in 54 bucks. He too is losing a ship. His ship has this gas tank on it. He wants to buy that back. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 according to the back of the counter, as well as the card. But I swear there's one where the card is different. The question is, where does he want to put it? To me, does he want to put it here? This thing's a 6-3 event, essentially. This thing's a 4-3. I'm going to put it on here. It's a little bit more trouble. Now, here's the problem. The Mark II is probably going to go obsolete fairly soon, too. I don't know the pace of this game very well. It's not like an XX. It's not going to be based on companies coming out. It's based on what the players do. Maybe the Mark IV never comes out in this game. You never know. It doesn't seem too unlikely that it might not, since I already have over 50. I pulled in 50 bucks this one turn. That means next time I go around, I've collected enough to call for a win, presumably, assuming I don't spend too much money. So, I don't know. And now red went in and hauled, and they managed to grab a triple set with a +8 bonus. They didn't use their little explorer bonus for that ship, but that's okay. They've got all kinds of stuff. Over here to green, they just pulled in 50 bucks. Not bad at all. They're definitely in the contention too. But their tug is now obsolete, and they've got to decide, do they want this mining module? It costs $6. That seems like a good deal too. I don't think the game's going to be over all that soon. Chances are I can make that $6 back. Where do I put it? Well, I'd love to put it on my new ship, whatever that is, but because this thing's already got a problem, so I'm going to hold this off and count on buying another ship. Right? I gotta think about this. Yeah. I think like purple's not decided yet. But if purple runs for it and I don't, see, here's the problem. A new ship costs, a minimum of 30 bucks. If I buy that new ship, we're too close. No, I'm just going to pay for it, and I'm going to stick it on this Scout, because I'm going to assume he's not going to buy the new ship. If he does buy it, well, then I probably still don't want to, because my guess is other people are going to be making as much. Blue is obviously way behind at this point. They weren't making that kind of money. And I'll load this one up, and hopefully this is it for the night. But I don't know.